them a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Matt. How's it going? I'm Moeppi. This is Hacki.
Nice,
You're sitting here, you know. Well, you agree? You agree?
No, he's green.
He's green?
No, I don't know if he's green.
My screen?
Maybe he just agrees.
It's a green screen?
It's a green screen. Yeah, hey, we're sitting here in beautiful Germany, man. It's like 7 p.m. And the sun is even not going down yet.
Nope, still shining.
Like virus time, you know. People are happy.
The neighbors are mowing the lawn, cutting the hedges, you know. We're sitting here doing pretty much what we always do.
Smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, and making bubbles. Moeppi is making bubbles. I'm drinking the beer. Moeppi, make a bubble.
I love bubbles.
Doesn't seem like a waste of the day.
It does, yeah.
You know why bubbles are round? Because they're smart.
Why?
They know the perfect shape. Look at this, a bubble in a bubble. Did you see the bubble in the bubble? Can you see the bubble in the bubble? Now you have a bubble in the bubble and the bubble in the bubble.
Oh, shit, man. It all went over my computer.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So, guys, you're being amazing. Can you just tell people a little bit about what kind of work you do? What style of work you do?
Yeah, you know, we actually mimes.
Yes.
You know, this is Guillermo. Guillermo, come here, man.
Guillermo, that's my son.
That's number 3.
That's 3 generations.
You have to.
You remember the show?
Yeah. Oh wow, you've grown up so much, brother.
I know. He's 13 years old now, coming home with a skateboard.
Wow. Yeah, that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's Guillermo, man. That's the youngest of us.
Hey, brother.
He looks like me, just to wash too hot.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and there you
go.
go.
Is he still performing?
He's gone.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you let him.
Yeah. Actually, we say something about us is like, what can we say about us? I mean, we're not superheroes, but we're just heroes.
Sometimes
and we perform all over. We just need the space of a LP to perform.
Yeah,
so we need 2 LPs, and maybe got a little bigger, so you need the XL LP.
We tried the CD, but
LP.
Yeah, that's really cool. So we perform wherever, and we do a lot of social work. Actually, we're working in old rest homes. Not right now. They don't want us. They love us, and they miss us. But you can't go.
No,
you know?
we're not allowed to go.
I went there, and they asked me to pay a fee of €200 because you shouldn't be in an old rest home. But I convinced them I'm a clown, so they said, "Okay, fuck it."
Fuck it.
But you know, and
fair enough. They're sure they don't get the money anyway. So
yeah,
and we love performing all over the world. Right now, we're sitting here in Germany. We're supposed to be at the Moisture Festival in Seattle. Everybody, greetings to the Moisture Festival.
Hello.
A great festival, man.
Yeah,
we love it, and we miss it, and they miss us.
We wish we'd be there.
So we miss each other.
After all the hustle with the visa and everything, and now we can't go.
So one of the questions I ask again and again and again to all the performers I get on is how they began. And this one's going to be slightly different for you guys, I imagine, because we have a 2-tier process of getting into performing, you know? And I'm sorry to put serious head on. I think it's quite an interesting thing, and you guys have a different experience. One, if I'm right, Moeppi, you learned on stage with your dad.
Well, yeah, he's my father, so for me it was pretty obvious to go on stage and be on the stage. And,
yeah, he was on stage. He was on stage when he was 4.
Yeah.
When he was 4, he came on stage, and then since then we used him here and there, and every vacation he loved the circus, he loved the performance, the variety shows and theaters, the Chameleon Variety in Berlin. So that's where he grew up, and so he's the only guy I know who never had a stage fright in his life, because it's normal. You know, it's like you go on stage, you have to be there, and
my first act was with Cotton McAloon to grab his tricycle off the stage after his act. You know,
this is for Cotton McAloon, man. He
like
died.
A fucking punk, and
he died like 10 days ago. Yeah. Our friend Cotton McAloon, man, he fucking suicide, man. That poor guy, one of the best jugglers in the world, man.
A lot of people know him.
We love him. We love him.
He's been mentioned on the interviews before. Like Lee Ross was talking about.
Fucking hurting, man. Yeah. He was juggling, and he could do yo-yo, and he could do frisbee like a king, but he had no other perspective in his life. By all the contracts got canceled on 2020, and you know, he's like, he was so fucked up, and I think it was a short time reaction thing. And
Yeah, on the moment.
it's hard to talk
Who knows?
about it, and it's good that now we talk about something else because we sat since 10 days, you
Yeah.
know, and he's not the only one, you know.
No.
Well, he won't be
So,
the only one by the end of it, you know. This thing's gonna,
Well,
it's gonna be hard, you know, for all of us.
I'm afraid we only a handful of performers after all that crisis, man.
I believe it.
But believe me, I'm
Yeah.
still on it, man. Even if
Yeah,
I'm
same
dying
here.
on it, man, I'm gonna take my art into that grave.
I mean, especially in other parts of the world, in other countries, we are doing pretty good actually here in Germany.
We really lucky.
It's treating us pretty
I
well.
wish everybody could be in Germany by all the
Mhm.
healthcare, and nobody's paying anything for the healthcare. You know, I mean, you're not paying
Yeah.
anything, but you have an insurance for a whole
Yeah.
family for 500, and that is really something USA should really have.
Mm.
You know,
I
we have a
agree.
lot of
I
friends
agree.
in the United States.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to do the Oregon Country Fair in the summer. Oh, happy Oregon
Yes.
Country Fair. We won't do it, but next year we're going to do it double. Actually, that's the first time we got a visa for the United States for 5 months, working visa. And it came at the moment when they said no more flights.
No more.
You know.
So we got really lucky. We didn't book the flight yet
We didn't book the flight,
Yes.
man.
because our visa was so late.
But hey, it would have
But
been
anyway.
a great best year.
I got a friend, you know, AJ, he's stuck in Panama. He did the tribal festival in Panama when they shut the shit
Yeah.
down. He's still there now.
Yeah.
He's in a hostel, just fucking thinking, what the fuck are we going to do, you know?
Yeah, a friend of us too, Vivian. She's there.
Yeah,
Stuck there.
it seemed to trap quite a few people. It's been quite fun seeing their things. But just to get
All
back
our
into
friends are stuck all over the world, man.
I have one friend. He's stuck in Greece.
The
He wants
bees are
to go
stuck
back
in
Australia.
Australia, man, up in the Blue Mountains. They're lucky. They have a beautiful house. They don't pay anything. They're lucky, but they don't make anything and no money. And now, if they could go back, nobody of the whole of those group wants to go into an airplane.
No.
I don't blame them.
You know.
I don't blame them. Not at the moment. It's the same thing if you get ill. You don't want to go to hospital, do you? You know?
Yeah.
If I break a
I mean,
leg,
I think in the moment it's good to be a performer and know people all around the world. So wherever you get stuck, you somebody who's going to be out there.
Yeah, we're so much on distal social distance that we don't touch ourselves anymore.
No.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
I haven't touched myself in a week.
People are going to be wearing plastic bags to go and have dates.
Yeah. I went into the gas station today with a full-on face mask and sunglasses and a black hat, and I was almost trying to rob the place.
Like fucking, I walk around like fucking this. And you know, it's a weird thing.
Sure.
The anarchists look like the reasonable social members of society.
Yes, that's what it is. Huh? You wouldn't think that ever going to happen.
No, the roles got reversed.
Yeah, this is our magic rabbit. This is our magic rabbit, and we put him in blindfold until the whole crisis is over.
Yeah, because
he's the only one in the end who said it was dark, but I don't remember anything.
Well, he'll be the better off at the end. So, Hacki, can you tell me how you began performing? I'm going to wrestle us back to topic. Can you tell me how you began performing?
Wie du angefangen hast zu.
Yeah. I started actually. I never supposed to become a clown. Actually, I started like I make movies, special effects for movies, like the Never Ending Story and things like that. You know, I worked on that pretty big. Actually, it could have been a career. Yeah, and so I was like the special effect and make decoration billet monsters and stuff like that, you know, and a bus is what explodes and for big movies, you know. And so at that point I had some money, and a friend of mine said, you know, that circus, they need a painter. Oh, they need a painter. Who is that? And it's called Circus Roncalli. Right now, it's a really big thing. Actually,
I think we're losing you a bit with the signal.
And then with that money, I bought a circus and thought, oh, you rented to charge. What's that?
What?
Hacki, can we get you just to start from when you bought a circus?
Are we doing anything wrong again?
The signal's dropping out a little bit. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's you. Check.
When we went to the
Hello?
yeah, it's fading.
Hey, I can hear you guys.
Hope you can
Sorry,
see
it's my
us.
connection. I can see you. I can't see you now. You've gone. Oh, we lost them. Okay, I don't know. We still going live? We are. So, hey, everyone. Hopefully, we'll get them back in a second. We did have problems with the connections all through the day. My God, look how bald I look nowadays. Shameful. So, we'll see what's going on with the connection. I'm going to contact them now. I'll just tell you a little bit of a story about them, and hopefully that will tide us through as we go. So I first saw Hacki and Moeppi with a friend, Rocket, guy who did a tattoo for me. Amazing. You're back. Okay. Not yet. You're going to be in stream in a second.
All right.
Okay, we're back.
There we go.
Now I can see
you're
myself.
back.
Working again.
Okay, this is little
we've
Luna.
got the three
I'm not
generations.
sure if you can see little Luna.
No,
Hello?
that's my daughter.
Hey, Luna. Hey,
She,
congrats.
she's a natural talent. She's doing circus school and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she can do faces. You understand everything she's miming. Luna, look at in here. You have to go with your head over here. Nee, eine andere Seite. So, und jetzt stiel mal. Thank you. Yeah, great act, man.
I'll call Rada.
Yeah.
So she's in the kitchen.
Do you know what?
So
I really want to talk about this.
I bought that circus tent, and with that money and rented it out. And some people told me you had paint a circus, and I did all that. And then I got more and more involved with circus, and I loved it. And I met that beautiful French magician lady, Fafa, her name. And she and me, we decided to do the first variety in Germany. What is, you can't have it in a theater, in a regular theater. So we did it in a circus top and traveled. And so after the Second World War, there was no variety theater in Germany. And we were the only one. So we started that up. And then later I opened the Variety Chameleon in Berlin.
What year is this? I'm really sorry to
I'm
break
talking
the
about
of years.
84.
Luna.
Okay.
84. Yeah, and 84. Then we started and did that till 88, 89. And then we had that huge gig in the 775 years party of Berlin, the celebration of the anniversary of the city. And then I stayed there. I was like, wow, Berlin was great. It was an island kind of, because of the wall around. I loved all that, man. It was like so groovy. And when the wall came down, we went through a hole of the wall and found a place on the other side. And then suddenly we got a contract and we opened the first variety after the Second World War in Berlin. And with big success, we did it like 14 years in a row. And that's why we have so many performers and artist friends from all over the world who did shows with us or sometimes against us. But that's what the power was, everything was possible and we loved it. And so that's like in shortcut, it's a history of that, but there's much more history all around and little things and lots of names I should name. And
so we can get into that more as we go on, but just for now, so how did Moeppi come into the equation then?
I was born then. I was born in 81.
Yeah,
I was born in 81.
And when we started our thing, like he was 4 and he never, and when he was older, there was another thing, his real name is Myron. So it's Myron,
Yeah.
Sorry, Myron.
Here in Germany, the
I was really lucky because of that.
But the officials, they thought it's Marion. Marion is the girl's name. So they mixed him up. So they never asked him for the service of the army.
They did ask me.
Yeah.
Once I moved to Berlin.
Well, once he moved to Berlin, they figured
and
out,
like, okay, hey, man, you gotta come here and shoot somebody. And then so I just moved back to Münster, my hometown, where my mother lived. So I moved here. and got my address here again. And they had to send everything by letters to the government.
By that time,
here.
the time had gone.
No, by the time then the letter came here to Münster, I went to the government in Berlin and moved back there. Got my address over there again. They had to send everything back, and then after 3 times, they couldn't get me anymore.
Happy days. Happy days.
Yeah, happy days. I was super lucky. Yeah.
Anyway, we're a lucky family because of that. I never did the army.
No.
My father never did the army, and my son has never did the army, and I believe our grandchild here is never doing the army.
No, he's not allowed to.
Good.
No, he's too young.
No.
He's allowed to do everything, but except for that.
So this thing that I saw, you're breaking up again.
Do everything, get hurt, whatever, but no, you do not.
Fair enough.
No.
Are we back?
Are we? Hey, don't close the door, man.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit again.
Closes the door because my phone is laying there. What gives us the internet connection?
You lose the connection.
Don't think so.
Is it better now?
No, it's working.
well,
We
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
We hear
The
you.
picture stopped working, but don't play that you're there. You're there again. Yes, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're good, huh? Okay. Hope nobody closes
Yes,
the door.
Santa's here.
This is a Santa.
Yeah.
This is a Santa, the dog.
Yeah.
The Santa and the dog. It was a Santa before. Now it's.
Yesterday it was still alive. Sort of.
And that's no more.
Some pieces all over the place.
So this thing interests me. When I saw you guys working, and you had the other young one with you, the lad, and you were just telling him every time he worked, you were saying, well done. You were being encouraging to him. You were saying, good on you, well done, no matter what he was doing. And if he's here and he's offended, I'm sorry, but he was fucking it up. Left, right, and centre. He was doing things which were counter to what you wanted to achieve. But you just kept telling him non-stop.
Yeah, he still does it. He still fucks up all the
time. Well, we all do. But you were so encouraging to him about everything. I don't know, maybe that's something you just do in your everyday life anyway. But it seemed to me like you were doing it because you wanted him to not have any worry on stage, to never feel concerned. It's just everything you do is fine.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it is fine. He did everything. In that time, even when was that? That was Berlin Lacht in
2010,
6, 7 years
11.
ago, something. Yeah. Even longer. Yeah. So he was, how old was he? 4, 5.
He was really young. He was like almost, I can't describe to you what to do right now, young.
Yeah.
You just do your thing.
Just out of the diaper.
Yes.
His very first performance of Demo was like when he was like 3.
No, he was 3 months old. On the, also at the Moeppi Festival.
But that was not his own performance. No. But then when we did a show in Bellingham, it's very close to a Canadian border.
Well, there he was like 13 months. He was just walking.
Yeah, he was just walking. And we set him up in the costume we have. So, and he went out and in backstage, everybody was looking for him, and he did like 5 minutes all by himself.
He ran away, so he ran onto the stage all by himself.
Completely sold out, people freaking out, and when we took him back, they were all yelling at us, "Hey, don't! He was better than you," and stuff.
Yeah, but we were there with Tom Noddy, and Tom said, "Well, just let him, let him go. He's gonna come back." He never came back.
He was doing his own thing.
He was doing his own thing, working with the crowd, doing the clapping. He did the one clap. The crowd was clapping.
And when then later, when he was like 8, 6, 7, 8, then we did street shows. And so people, when we went around with the hat asking for the money, they all the grandmas, they loved him. They all wanted to put the money in there.
Everyone.
So he came up with a huge hat full of money, and we had really a hard time explaining him that we have to share that.
Come on, man.
And he's like, no, they didn't. No. So he knows what business is all about, man.
Yeah,
he's a smart guy, man. He's going on a flea market, buy all those little, I don't know, plastic guys, heroes and stuff, and then next time on the flea market, he sells a double.
Shrewd businessman.
Yeah,
business
clown.
Yeah.
The first business clown in our life, man.
Well, now he does
Very
skateboarding and is trampoline crazy.
Yeah,
and
flip backwards and all that stuff, man.
parkour
He's
and
like,
all
wow,
kinds of
he's
stuff.
doing parkour, you know, like jumping around.
And so, are you going to do a trio when you when all this dies down again and you're bringing stuff back on? Is there a chance to have Hacki, Moeppi, and
Gemo? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a chance, you know.
Sure.
If he doesn't have to go to school or
Yeah.
and we perform somewhere, then he's coming anyways.
And when
See,
we go to America, we normally
Yeah.
we used to go to Seattle to the Moisture Festival all together, like the whole family. And
Yeah.
so he's like performing there, you know, got his friends
For sure.
there. They speak perfect English, German. You
He,
know,
he was born there.
you were born there actually.
He's
So
born
I
in
just-
Seattle.
the thing I like about this is I like the idea that this. I'm going to sound a bit poncy about it, right? But it's tutelage. You know, it's by tutelage. I mean that through the generations, the information is getting handed down and passed down
Yeah.
of the trade and of the craft. To be a clown, to be an entertainer, to be a performer, to be a stage person, and you don't see that really in any industry anymore.
Did you wieder in that?
No, it's yeah, I don't know. I mean, even she's 7 years old now. She's going to a kid circus. She
Yeah.
just had a training over the computer. That's why a test stream was so bad, I guess.
Yeah, because she used power for the
used
live
up all the
stream.
internet with her.
Yes,
Kid
exactly.
circus
That's
stuff.
why I was struggling. So,
Yeah.
do you,
Zeig mal deine Zähne, Luna. Und so ein bisschen. Look at her teeth. She lost some.
Yeah.
She
oh,
looks
they're
like
almost as bad as
like
Rock's teeth. He looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Rocket.
yeah.
You look
Far
like
away
Rocket.
from being a vampire.
Oh yeah, got gun people to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, great man.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
she's funny. So she's gonna learn how to juggle and do all that kind of stuff for sure.
Are you going to have the whole family doing it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Why not?
So-
It's always a good backup. Everybody needs
Exactly.
to go to school, do their thing, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
But
and then go home and
yeah.
practice.
go out and practice. That's what it is.
Well, Hacki's not going to be here forever, and then it'll be on to you, and then it'll pass on again,
Yeah.
and then again.
Yeah, we'll pass it on for sure. I mean, only if they want to, definitely. You know, nobody gets forced to do anything, but
No,
yeah.
there's no whips in the training room. You
No.
didn't have Hacki standing over you going, "You must juggle harder."
No. Faster, harder. No.
Yeah,
No. And I'm still not a really good juggler. That's the thing. You should have.
but you guys have such interesting skills in your show. I
No,
love watching your work. Are we here?
Yeah.
So I love watching you guys
Yeah,
work because
what?
are we on the same plane now? Yeah, I love watching you guys work because you have so many interesting arrangements of skills that aren't just juggling. You don't just go out there and say, right, I'm going to juggle this thing. You have like the thing with the rings where you end up juggling with one finger rings with each other. These are abnormal
like the hula.
in the juggling world. They're dare I say, to some extent, original ideas. You know.
Well, yeah, it's still, even to us, it's abnormal, you know, because it still doesn't work. We're still not really good in it, but we do it anyways. I think that's the main part of what we do. And that we're not like maybe the perfect juggler, or we cannot.
No, we're very good
juggle
in
5
things we
balls,
cannot
but,
do. Really,
you know,
that's
we're
what we have to say.
really good in fucking things
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and getting along with it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and liking it, and
Yeah,
playing with it.
yeah, yeah.
And I think that's what comedy, what a little bit of skill, and you know, not to be afraid of fucking it up.
Well, yeah, I've got. Do you know
No,
Rumpole? Have you ever heard of Rumpole?
No.
Rumpole is a kind of joker, jester, court jester, traditional court jester. He does we got the action man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the action. He can do like contortions like nobody ever can do. Like look at this man. He can do it 5 times in the same direction. You know, it's incredible. It's really, it's like a
Shit, man, it's lag.
Oh, he's only got one leg.
Oh, it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
man.
shit, man. It's been a long time.
Oh, actually, it's a man.
He's got a replacement for graft.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we have a lot of things. We have like a beautiful magic trick. You want to see a magic trick? Should we show you a
Hacki,
magic trick? Or is
Hacki,
that?
all the people watching are performers. They will love you to perform.
Oh
But tell
yeah,
us a
yeah.
bit.
But I
Tell
don't
us
know
a bit
how
about your history, your story, this kind of thing. You know, these are the things I want to get
my
from you
history
guys.
is really cool, man. Did I tell you that I was like when I was like what was it, 12? When I was
Shit.
12 and they put me in a locomotive.
They did.
They really did.
Oh, my grandfather did that.
Yeah, my grandfather and my father did it, you
Jesus.
know, and my mother too, and the whole family put me on a train and sent me to Rome. So I was 1 year in the Vatican. I was supposed to become a priest.
Wow.
Is that a story?
That's a story, yeah. And so how did it go from becoming a
So I
priest
met,
to
it was
now?
in 60, 68, 67. I went to Rome and they just switched the Pope because one died. They do that all the time, you know. And so I was there for 1 year learning Latin. I could speak Latin like we talk English right now, but because of all that was so fucked up to me, and I realized, wow, man, Christians are really brutal. I mean, we got beaten up every day, you know, and so and then I tried to get out of that. So I sent letters home to say, hey, get me out of here, man. But the letters never arrived because I had people who spoke German who could see what I'm writing. So, and then in the end, I remember my grandmother, she told me in the Second World War, if you need help or it means get me out of here, you send a postcard to somebody's birthday and you put like behind the stamp, you put like 3 crosses. And I sent her the happy birthday in July, but her birthday is in October. And she's like, why does he? And in the supermarket, she told me, I got the idea and I went home, heated up the pot and made steam. So the stamp came off and there were 100 crosses under there. And 2 weeks later, I was out there.
Wow.
And there's so much more story about that. But
yeah.
I was very lucky because as a kid, I had a beautiful voice. And so they took me for the
choir,
for the Radio Vaticano. It was a radio of the Vatican. Every Sunday you go there and you sing and whatever. But that's the only time I was really happy because we were 380 boys. The room I slept in was 50 people in one room, all my age, crying at night, mama, and things like this, you know. And it was not only happy to wake up in the morning because the priests, I never went to church again. And when I came home, I lost the Latin and all the Italian and all the languages in 1 second.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. And I learned Ukrainian too over there. So, and then years later, years later? I mean, like I'm talking about 30 years later. Yeah. We went to Düsseldorf, performed like in one of those palazzo things and stuff. And there was a whole group of Ukrainians, and they got pissed drunk at night because one had his birthday and they invite me, and I was like, I never drink vodka in my life. So I was drinking vodka and I don't remember the rest of the night. Next morning I'm sitting there, all the Ukrainians come up to me and talking Ukrainian to me, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand the word. And they thought, hey, are you fooling me and stuff. And I believe if I'm pissed drunk I can still speak Latin. That's about a little story. Yeah.
Pretty crazy, yeah, from a preschool to become a clown.
Yeah. That's it. That's what the church can make. You know, I mean, if religion would think like this, you know. But I believe everything what really was good in it, like the social thing and could you take care of other people and stuff. All that was based in me forever. We doing like we not only working only for cancer people in hospitals, for children, hospice, you know, where people go
hospices
to die. Nobody goes there. Nobody wants to perform there. We do that. We do all that, man. We go where it hurts. Yeah. And we need like 2 or 3 days after that, you know, and everybody's calling us. Hey, look, we have a situation. We need more blood from the people. You have an idea? Can you help and stuff? And that's where we get all the balloons from. Yeah. You know?
Yes, the juggling ball I made out of it.
Yeah, you know, and we
So they
do
gave
things
us a
like
whole bag of balloons for a job.
Happy days. Happy
That's
days. You're
nice,
rich.
you know.
yeah,
That makes us more
Hopefully,
rich.
trading in rubber goes up.
It's not
I
all
told
about
you,
the
man.
money, for sure not.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's just
So,
doing good
Hacki,
things.
you were saying earlier, like when you began, there was lots of street theatre in Berlin. Yes.
yeah.
Can you explain the scene, what it was like to work there, how you got along with other people? Did you queue? Did you share spaces? Did you move around spots?
You know what? The first year we made it, you know, we really had a lucky contract. Like we would pay 6,000 marks. That's about 3,000 euro today, you would say. But let's keep it like 6,000 a month. And we thought, okay, we can make it. After 1 month, we thought, okay, we have to close because in 1 month we had 250 people altogether coming to see us because nobody wanted to go to the east because that theater was in the east. But then it became really fancy, and all the performers became friends more and more and more and more. All the circus artists, everyone, because I did the Circus Roncalli, so I know people, you know, in Parody Paradise we did, like with Cotton McAloon and other people, you know, and all that made like attention. Hello, yes, something is going on. And then actually we realized, shit, man, there were 225 in official variety theaters in Berlin before the Second World War, and we came up and there was no one anymore. You know, so we restarted that tradition, and that's why
And
automatically
how did you restart it?
What's that?
Well, by opening that theater, the Chameleon Variety,
We opened the
in
Chameleon
downtown
Variety
Berlin.
in the center of Berlin, the new center.
Yeah.
What
you
was
know.
the old
Yes.
East? It was all messed up. There was
Yeah.
nothing. There was no restaurant. There was no nothing. And now there's like Gucci and Armani and all those
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
fancy stores and whatever.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's
And it was
not
like
fun
really
anymore. But
when the East
at the
opened,
time, it was
when the East opened, it was like,
Yes.
imagine you come out from
Yeah.
Las
I heard Covent
Vegas
Garden was the
and
same.
go out and
Yeah.
over a border, and on the other side there's no more light at all.
No, we emptied this
And-
thing with a horse car.
Yeah, with a horse car, a horse trailer, and two
Yeah.
horses, and
Fucking horse.
we cleaned the theater with that back then.
The
you know?
old movie theater.
And
Wow.
we really catched up a great history
Mm.
place. You know what was built in 1906, and it's in the center of Berlin. Beautiful place, and it looked exactly like it had to be. And it worked out that more and more and more people. We were the theater for 10 years, a theater in Germany who was like 99% sold out, man. We were
Wow.
probably the only one
Yeah.
who made
And
it.
were you
With
were you like a
with no
were you a
support
fan?
of anything, you know.
It was a huge connection
Yeah.
place for a lot of artists. A
Yeah.
lot
This is
of
what I was going to
artists
say. Were
came.
you like a family? It was more of a. It had this
That's what
informal
that-
feel
that's
to
what
it.
that-
Most
That's
definitely.
what it is.
Yeah.
It still is. It still is in the old age performers, kind of like his age, not my age. They're still talking about that place and still talking about the backstage, what was happening there, what happened on the bar, what happened, how many people got jobs out of it, how many people got big through that theater because of the midnight shows they did every Saturday, Friday, Saturday. They got the midnight shows where everybody could, like, it's like an open stage kind of thing, but where everybody got paid the same money.
But
Yeah.
you have magician or
Whoever you are,
comedians. They
the
superstars in
technician,
Germany now.
musician, technician, everybody got the same.
Yeah. Things came out. We everything what came out of that was original, was created there.
Yeah.
You never seen an act like this before, you know. And then also what was really strong, and I still believe in that, you know, half of our movements coming from music, and it's only possible if you have great musicians. So we had like always a band what is playing every act live.
So
you
nice.
know.
The best,
So
yeah.
they rehearsing, like they're getting your. Back then it was tapes. They sent you tapes, you know, and the musician is sitting there and making the note, the tunes out of it, and then the whole band is playing, and then the person is coming in. And also, look, we had like 30,000 for 3 months to invest into a production. What means like everyone got 800 for the rehearsal time.
Mhm.
So it's not like you don't, these days they send out the contract, it's written, Rehearsal is 3 days. You don't get any money. Pay your own arrival. Things like that. Back then, we really invested in all that. We had costume builders, stage builders.
I mean, also there was different ideas that if you have 10 people on stage, then let's say we all get 800 euros. Let's go to the airport, and each one we buy a ticket and go 2 weeks to Canary Islands. And nobody is there,
And never heard somebody
rehearse there on the beach. Why not?
We were standing till here in the water and rehearsing the show.
Best place to rehearse.
First show was no makeup because we were all suntan and we looked great. We were fat, and everybody believed what we did, And so that was a beautiful example. And then we did that off and on, and the whole crew is, including technicians, leaving there. And also technicians normally don't get any money. For us, everyone, if you do in 5 minute act, 10 minutes act, you're half an hour on stage, you get 250. If you're a technician, you get 250, And so, now all that doesn't happen anymore. And I have to tell you, it was more social than business. We never thought of money. Nobody.
How have you seen the change then? So it seems I'm getting a feel. Yeah, I'm getting a feel that in Berlin, the environment isn't there to make this kind of project again. That's the kind of feeling I get.
Yeah, Berlin has changed completely, pretty much a lot. Definitely a lot in the last
these
years.
Days?
It's pretty hard to come up with something like this. It's almost impossible because everybody is just running after the money, and it's not like the performers running after the money, but the guys who would rent a place or rent the technicians.
These days, it's Blue Man
PAs and whatever. You just can't afford it anymore to do things like this. It's just not affordable.
Money.
Was it also the thing that the moneyed eyes weren't looking at Berlin during this time, and so you could, because the rent prices weren't so high, you could do these kind of projects, and because you guys, the same way as other people have become successful in these areas, it made the areas cool, and so money people moved in, and then you're fucked,
For sure, definitely,
definitely
exactly what it is.
That's tradition in culture. Soon as somebody, I mean,
what do you do when you run out of the rundown places?
Well, we go to the next place and try it there, and it's go to the next neighborhood in Berlin and try it there, and then that one gets hyped, and then that one is hyped, and then that neighborhood is hyped, and then this one is hyped, and then. Now it's pretty much the artists are outside of town.
We all over. We're doing festivals now since 6 years in different towns and stuff, and we co-founders, let's say,
Yeah, we have the one festival, what is like in a small town in Thüringen, in old East Germany, Suhl, like old tiny little city, where we do a festival. Also with the guy from Berlin, Lacht Ola. I don't know if you remember him.
Maybe.
I don't remember. I think I do.
We had 10,000 people coming up, man. If we do shows there, it's so crowded, and I never seen anybody of the performers like we also doing bars, so we're selling beer and stuff, wine, and while the festival is happening, so they gave us that, so we make enough money because we're not like.
Also to keep the festival running, to just make it happen and make it a place to meet and make it a place to be together.
Never happened that somebody comes to they come with their hat to the bar and we need change for our bar to make it run, and so performance, they all have changed like €2, €1 and stuff.
Yes.
And I asked her, Jeanette, can I change? Can I have your money, like your coins and stuff? And she said, I'm sorry, I only have bills.
Just bills in there. Yeah, what a crazy festival. What? That was the first year of that festival.
That's the first year. And since then, man.
Getting crazy. Doing the first 3 years of the festival in the old East, down in the woods there, somewhere.
People crying and so happy and leaving. And they wait a year before we're coming back, but really waiting for it. And
I've heard this thing people talk about. No, well, maybe not this year. People talk about the Edinburgh Festival, and they talk about why you wouldn't have an Edinburgh Festival, for example, in London, or maybe in Berlin either. Fringe, the Edinburgh Fringe. And the idea is that because it's a small city, the people enjoy it so much more when things interesting come there. It's a bigger draw. If you had a big city like London or Berlin, things are happening all the time anyway. You know, it doesn't feel like such an event. Yeah.
I'm working on it actually. You know, I'm working on a comedy festival in Berlin, and I have a great place. They offered the Uferfabrik. It's like it's an old factory where they made movies. Old film studios where Marlene Dietrich performed and stuff like that.
Wow.
Also just to connect the street performing and the stage performing artists, to connect them a little bit more. You know, we are more doing more stuff on the stage. No question about it. We don't do too many street shit.
You know,
but we love it. We love the street, and it's really nice to do it. And we
love the people.
Get the feel of the audience.
We love the midnight shows we're doing there. Stuff. The late night shows, the not organized, fucked up shows are the best ones. I think, you know, because
this is the thing. I watch you guys and I see you guys as more street performers than stage performers because you embrace the mistakes, because you're not worried about things going wrong. It has more of a feel of something I associate with the street than the polished stage work, especially contemporary polished stage work. People have been through circus school and everything's beautiful.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much in the middle of it. I think we're pretty much in the middle of street and stage performing, because if we're going on the stage, we do the same thing. You know, it's the same, and we do fuck up and things get dropped and whatever, but we work with it, and that's I think the main thing of our act is anyway. Something needs to go wrong, otherwise it's not funny anymore. It doesn't really work that way. And then the way how he acts and I act when something happens. It's just sometimes something comes out of it, but it's just hilarious. So we try to do it again.
Yes.
And we try. Most of the time it doesn't work until we really fuck it up again.
Moeppi is a very good soap bubble artist. You know, construction and stuff like this. The thing is outside in the street. There's hardly any time you can do it. I mean, you blow a bubble, it's gone. You know? If it's not gone, kids are coming and popping it up. I tell you, the biggest enemy of bubbles is kids. You know.
Well, that's a very amusing bubble act. A bubble act that doesn't want the kids to destroy the bubbles and actually hates children for destroying his precious things.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely an idea to go on the list.
That's what it is. And we did it. I did bubbles outside. I tried it.
We did it in the rain.
Also, I'm not afraid of, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whatever. But people see it doesn't work. And people see why it doesn't work. And then if you have something else to explain it or something else to do at the time, then
have you tried making I've talked to a friend. I've got a friend Kurt who's the bubble magician. I think he is. I think he is bubble professor. I hope I'm getting his blue name right. I've had half a bottle of wine at this bloody point. And
you should get Tom Noddy for your show, man. With that guy, you would love Tom Noddy.
Tom Noddy. He's the master of bubble.
He's like they gave him a big prize in Singapore for the magic convention for a new form of magic. The real magic is the bubble magic. And so they gave him like a big certificate that brought him into Singapore and stuff.
Also, he started out on the street.
And he was like the teacher of Moeppi for his bubbles.
Yeah, I mean, this is the interesting thing, because I talk to you guys, and it seems you guys started in the theatre and dabble on the street, whereas nearly every other person I've talked to started on the street and then moved into theatre.
Moved into theatre. Yeah, for me, for sure, I started in the theatre because I grew up there. I grew up in the Chameleon Variety, Birdie Paradise.
And I never supposed to become a performer. I was just on stage. Actually, those glasses and the hat is different than back then. But in the real beginning, I was setting up the tent, and they called me and asked me what kind of costume you want. And I said, bring me anything for 10 euro. You know, 10 marks back then. And so they brought me that hat and those glasses and a jacket, a black jacket and a bow tie. And I was only the guy who was bringing like a props man, you know, bring the table there, get the microphone and things like this. And then later, after a while, I was probably getting every time longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. And I became very famous for being the longest on stage.
So how did you write? How did you put your material together when you were developing it and you were going on stage your little bits? What's the inspiration?
It happens. It just happens. It's when it happens on stage, something goes wrong, We keep that moment, or something goes wrong and somebody acts something out, and it's funny or
But
something.
you've chose prop. For example, you go on stage
Yeah,
with
red
6
line,
rings.
Yeah, we do
So
have a
you've
red line.
already, yeah. Or
Yeah.
for example, the routine that Hacki does with the glasses and the mic stand and this kind of thing. These things, they're not. It's not all improv clown off the catastrophe. It's some of it's written. Do you guys? You must prepare it in some way, surely, or it must have been written at some point, or watched and thought, and you know what I mean.
No. We're not writing, we're not reading, and we're just doing. And then we try to remember. We had great shows with incredible funny things, and then on the way back, sitting in the truck and driving back next day, we did not fucking remember what we did.
That's
and
a
what
lot.
was so funny.
Sometimes we also do the host of the show, so he doesn't remember the name or something like this, and he asked me what the name is, and I would just run backstage
And ask the people,
like,
what's your name?
What's your name?
And all that becomes
running
so funny,
back and whistle it in his ear.
Which people think, it's very funny.
Once it happens, and it's very funny, but it happened once, and then the next day, of course, it happens again. That's how we write.
Yeah,
it's not written.
We write wrong.
Yes, exactly. And then you think, right, I could take this a bit further. But this is how street performers write. This is how a street performer writes a show. He does something, that worked, I'll try it in the next show.
Sure.
Because there's that sense that it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. I can keep trying this because, you can recycle crowds if you have to.
Yeah. And that we feel very family in the street.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why we like the street so much anyways, because you get such a response, such a better response from the audience, from the people.
We had so great street shows that we forgot to get the money in the end.
Yeah.
I know the ones. The show's so good, you almost feel bad. Yeah.
Oh, what a great show, man. What a great show. Shake our hands.
You feel like saying thank you for your time. I've enjoyed your responses more than you've enjoyed mine.
That's really...
Please
come back tomorrow.
We're not the king of the street, man.
No.
But do you ever get that feeling at the end of you do that great show, you kill the street, or you kill the stage, and then you think, oh, fuck, am I going to be able to do this tomorrow? Am I going to be able to repeat this? Is this now going to be the... No,
we never had that.
It's always the feeling, okay, we're going to try it again. We want to do that again, try that again. And usually it doesn't work the same way.
If something
never happens the same way.
Today was really funny, then something else tomorrow is going to be really funny.
Yeah, tomorrow is a different
because yesterday also something was really funny. But it's not really all the time the same thing,
But this is the thing that makes it kind of makes sense for me, listening to it and watching the way you guys work as well, is that there's not a sense of urgency.
No.
You don't feel like anything has to happen. It can just develop, no?
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, anyways, with the hula hoops, if in the end of our hula hoop bit, he throws all the hula hoops on top of me, so I catch two, one with this arm, one with that arm, and one goes over my head. And then sometimes, of course, it missed, and at one day, I just lifted my leg in the back, and one landed on my leg. And it was so cool, because
we never had that much money. We never had that much money.
And since,
but it never worked.
No.
Again. Sometimes that happens,
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
I try again and again and again.
Yeah. What we love also is taking kids, if we take volunteers and
you've been told about this
magic with them and stuff, and our plan from the first second on is, in the end, the hero is always the person you take on stage, never yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're the loser, and the more you lose, the more hero she or he is, small or big or whatever, And I think that's also one of our plans is, and then also we have three laws. What we always say, we never make handicap jokes, not jokes about
racism,
people. We don't do fire in the theater because I saw how shit could burn up in like seconds.
And we do have a fire bit.
Yeah, and we have a fire act, And
somebody else's theater.
Oh, that is a great act, man. I can show you. It's like this is our 100% treble X. This is alcohol, pure alcohol. you know, and I take only a little zip and make a 6-meter flame. But somehow by chance, I swallow that first zip. And then I try again till the bottle is empty. And I never make one fire.
And then it's on me to give him the lighter and give him, you know,
the lighter and
try
stuff,
to light
you
a
know.
stick. And of course, my stick is way too big to light it up.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. So he swallows it, and he swallows it
so
again.
pissed drunk, and in the end, I take somebody. I go down in the audience. I ask that lady if I can stay at her place at night, you know, and they all love it.
Yeah.
You know, and we pretend
we
to be
just
pissed
leave.
drunk, and then
Pretty
after the
much
next act, we come back and we completely solved and
So good.
completely, hey, hello, and people laughing about. I mean, that we have little things to MC
Little
a
things.
show without talking. You know.
Yes.
Also, we
playful
do a lot
visual
of things. What we do a lot of things is with Rock Rocket. We do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So that's a nice contrast too, you know, because he
That's really
Oh,
cool.
very
he
Rocket-
looks so much different. You know,
Rocket
he's so different than us.
tattooed
And then,
with
you
ear
know,
holes like this, you know, all the time drinking and stuff. Hardly any teeth in his face.
and then it's us in the suits, but he's the guy who's like the nice one.
And
you
he's
know,
a nice guy, and we're the asshole.
we the assholes.
You know.
Yes. Yeah. But he is.
And
He's such a gentle, lovely creature.
He
Yeah,
is, you
right.
know, and he really is. That's the thing. He really doesn't have to
And
play.
6 years we worked, 7 years we working together. It's really incredible, man. And it's like,
I felt so bad for him in London. In London, like the people just didn't vibe with him. They didn't get him, you know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't get past the thing that he was a 6-foot punk with a bald head, tattoos all over his head, and no teeth.
Yeah.
You know, which is surprising because I
Yeah.
think he's probably the best family freak
No.
show in the world. You know, he's fucking
super,
brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Kids love him. Like,
yeah, but
Yes.
it's also
Yes.
true. It's also true. Some people have seen that already what he's doing, you know. But it's a
Yeah,
fun show.
yeah.
And not everybody
Yeah.
likes when he takes out a nail like this big, like my finger, and put it in his nose and knock it with a hammer inside till the whole thing is gone.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
You know, and then with a tweezer, you put it back out. I mean, not everybody loves that.
yeah,
you
but
know.
he has such fun things, you know.
Yeah,
with
yeah. But it's
Kenny
great
and-
when we come out.
when we go.
after him, it's always.
It's always good.
We feel really like, oh, finally.
It always fits good together. Though. Well, it's a great match. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
God
and
doesn't
we-
approve, but it's still fine.
And we were really lucky, Moeppi and me. We did like Berlin Lacht in Berlin and stuff, and people came up and booked us for Australia. So we did Melbourne Comedy Festival. We did like the street festival part of it. And it was great, man. And we moved. And we went to South Korea, did comedy festivals there and stuff. Man, it's great, man. We did New York. Hey, we went to London, West End, to the circus school.
West End,
Or was it
circus.
West End? I don't remember. But it was a circus school of London. We did shows.
What was it called?
Okay. Oh, wow. You guys
Yeah.
didn't come to Covent Garden. I'm hurt.
We stayed in Covent Garden.
We stayed in-
there was a
we
hotel
really-
that was right next to it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, right.
How many years ago, though? Long time ago?
Oh,
Oh.
that is like 12.
12. Yeah.
12
so
years
Ah, it's
ago,
probably
about-
before.
yeah. Long
Yeah,
time
yeah,
ago.
Yeah. That was
So,
really
do
great.
you guys do shows in Covent Garden when you were there?
No.
No.
Just
They
the
didn't.
circus space it was called, I think.
Yeah,
Circus
yeah,
space.
Yes,
we
Circus.
did.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But Kevin
Too
Garden,
good for the
we
streets in
wanted
London,
to
eh?
do a show there.
I don't know.
We wanted to do a show at Kevin Garden, but the performer said, no.
Yeah, they didn't let us.
No, they didn't let us. That's our spot. And we said, okay, relax.
Doesn't matter anyways.
Relax. You don't know me, I don't know you, so relax, man. It's your London.
It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. How is
Well,
it in
if I
Covent
was
Garden?
there, I would have happily invited
You
you
have to
up
be
there.
there. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting, just in terms of what you're talking about Berlin, and with the venue being this place for creativity. What's interesting is it seems the trajectory from the 80s of Berlin in terms of cabaret and the trajectory of Covent Garden in terms of the culture and performance there is a similar trajectory. In the 80s,
totally.
it seems like it was incredibly creative. Lots of people doing interesting stuff, different kinds of performance. And then there seems to be this structure that's formed and crystallized over time to where it's become a very, very simple show. It has the same things happen. You're either juggling or in a straight jacket or in a tennis racket. At the same time as the show's commercialized, the area around it has commercialized to become more expensive, like Berlin. And it does feel a bit like it's dying. You know, it's not there anymore. because you're not seeing variety.
Yeah. So everybody just comes in the morning, doing their job, trying to make a living, and that's where creativity gets lost.
Yeah, and I think this is the problem. If you're working 5 days a week and you have to reliably get a hat from every show, with sparse crowds, you can't just play. You can't just try and muck about. It's not.
That's it. That's it. If you have to make a living, and if you have to pay your rent, and you have to, if you don't make enough,
it's fucked up, man.
And then I don't know how it is in Covent Garden. I know that in Berlin it's like you're not allowed to have amplifiers anymore. You're not anyways.
We've kept amps. We've kept it pretty free for now. In Berlin, there's no amps. What's happened in Berlin?
Yeah, they don't want the amps anymore because some neighbors complained or whatever. It's like they had the Alexanderplatz was the one spot where people could do it, and then somebody complained. It's too loud. So
the hotel complained.
And there was the Mauerpark, what is like, anyways, the big party kind of park.
There was the guy doing the karaoke, no?
Yeah, also there's the karaoke guy.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly
that's right.
there.
Exactly there.
And also that became a horrible situation.
It's ridiculous.
Do you want to explain that pitch a little bit for people that know? This is probably the best pitch in Berlin. They talk about here.
Really nice. It's like a amphitheater. Anyways.
Yeah, but you can't get a foot in it, man. It's like one guy who got the contract. Yeah. He pays $4,000 a month to rent it, and he said to the street performers, "Okay, you guys come up at 8:00 in the morning." And we decide who's performing today, and that person is cleaning up everything, and then you can do your shows. Like Rocket can do his shows probably once a month there.
So it's not, but you have to come there every day at 8 in the morning, but it's not like a performance time.
At 11, you're not performing today, and that happens like almost every time.
And is that because there's a lot of people there, or is it because the guys doing the karaoke wants to keep it himself?
There's a lot of performers, and that's like
performers who get up at 8 a.m.
Yeah, and that's one of the last pitches, anyways, where you can do it, like where they don't kick you out, when the police doesn't come, take your amplifier away and stuff.
I got me a license for Berlin performing, and I can perform wherever I want with no amplifier and 20 minutes.
So do you need a license even if you don't have an amp?
You do need a license.
I mean, you can do it with no license, but I've got a license, so I'm not getting bored. Yeah. But actually, since I have
people do it all the time, so without the license, and you have all those, on the traffic lights and stuff like this.
Hits and run. But this is the way it's going back to.
Since I have
that's what it is. That's what's happening.
They never asked me for to see it. Since 15 years, I have that license, and never anybody came up to ask me, "Hey, can I see your license?" So I wouldn't have to need anyone, actually.
But I see this thing happening in all the cities, all the big developed cities all over the world, where we were free to busk in my performing life, and now they're all becoming licensed, and it's going to go back to the 20-minute duck and dive, looking over the crowd to see if the police are coming, kind of, toe rag, rascal kind of days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
that's great. I mean, it's horrible. But there are some festivals I love.
Festivals, that's a great idea that you give them half of your head so you can perform there. Why not?
I know festivals, they will love it.
Do you know the thing I'd see in this as well? A lot of the festivals, this is my own little gripe, my personal gripe, because I don't get booked by a lot of them for understandable reasons. But you don't see a lot of proper street there. You don't see the streety street acts. You see festival acts aping street acts, which is quite nice to see you guys doing like proper street style stuff. It's not when I did Berlin Lach with you guys years ago, it was the middle of a sunny day and I went out there and I tried my hardest. I fucking bombed. It was 36 degrees, which is fucking hot for there, no?
Yeah, I remember.
And I watched the other acts, and the other acts, they bombed as well. But because they did stagey theatre shows, they just carried on. They just went from start to finish. Did their material and it looked normal, whereas I looked like I was going mental. Yeah, because I need audience response. I play off other human beings.
Yes.
I'm there desperately trying to keep my 10 people awake, alive, paying attention to me, giving me some response. I look like a man dying on the spot. And so
I remember that.
My thing. So my thing is that festivals. book festival performers, not street performers, for street festivals.
Yeah, maybe.
What are your thoughts on it?
To book street theater festival, what?
I'm bitching because I don't get booked, and so my argument for bitching that I don't get booked is that they don't book proper street performers for street festivals. They book nice looking, well presented festival performers.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you can mark yourself, or if you feel like vermarkten, what's the word for that?
Present yourself. Sell yourself.
Sell yourself. People know how to sell themselves, how to know all the internet shit, how to sell and have a booker and an agent and be in different agencies. Anyways, those are the guys who get booked. Who are organized, and the real street things are definitely not organized.
Yeah. You've got to be together to be a street performer these days.
Yes, really.
Yeah,
where's your agent?
Every other year we're doing a festival in 3 towns in Germany with a German Life Aid. It's called Lebenshilfe.
Lebenshilfe, yeah. It's
Life
for
Aid.
handicapped people.
It's like a handicapped people thing. Like, for example, when we do street shows, everybody is doing street shows. But all of them, they normally state performers.
Yeah, they have houses all over Germany where they have handicapped people who living there. And of course, they all have some theater groups here and a theater group there.
Yeah.
And all those theater groups come once a year. They come together in one town.
From Europe.
And make do
from
a
Holland,
festival,
from France, from Denmark,
and,
from
of course,
wherever.
They book some acts, some like us.
And we emceeing the shows, and then that's the most funny thing in the world. You start at 8 in the morning because they come up with 7 dancing girls handicapped, and they all speak French. So they take us as MCs because we speak French, English, and German.
I don't speak French.
Yeah, I mean, you can say oui or no.
Yeah.
But moi, je parle français, quoi.
Yeah.
Ça veut dire que whatever, but that's I've ever seen, because everybody is afraid doing their act because they normally stage performers and they modificate it now that act. But you always perform with handicapped people together in your own show. So it gives you another salt and pepper in the whole thing, It
gives you something.
It's like while you do the show, you start crying on stage. Just seeing what's going on and see how much you touch the people. Everybody is crying.
The one guy is hiding in his box from the beginning of the show, and you think, "Hey man, you don't, you last act
in 2 hours. I'm waiting. You bring me some water.
I'm staying in that
and
box.
You just sit there in the box to handle out something for a magic trick,
So and then of course,
so cute.
Every one of them have their teacher or whatever. The guy, takes care of them, and he's like, "No, you can't." I always try to get him out of the box. You cannot. Get him out of the box. Once he's in there, he's just coming out for that.
And then also after 3 years,
that's great. It's awesome. Yeah.
After 3 years doing that tour, we always stay at the same hotel. The cook second time came up and said, "Please, hey, listen, no more." Was it Spiegeleier?
Ex-Sunny Side Up.
Yeah, ex-Sunny Side Up. No more ex-Sunny Side Up, because when we did it, everybody, 250 handicapped people thought, "Oh, ex-Sunny Side Up." Oh, great.
I wonder.
They were all in line ordering those, And so every time we arrive there, they give us what not to order.
Don't make our lives hard.
Don't make.
Do you change the way you perform? I did a gig years ago for a charity called the Bubble Club, which does kind of cabaret nights for people with Down syndrome. And so I performed there, and I performed my normal show, and I talked about, not in much words, I talked about sucking my own cock, and I talked about all these other pieces of adult content, because the guys around there and girls were adults. They were all 30, 35. They're with their girlfriends. I treated them like adults. And the guys from the gigs said, "Oh, it was amazing. We loved how you didn't talk down to them. We love the fact that you just treat them like everyone else." I was like, "Well, sure. I'm not good enough to change my act for fucking one gig. I'm going to do the fucking same thing." And the next day I got a call from the manager, and she said, "We really loved your act, but you will never work for us again." Every single parent complained. Every single one of them. Because they had this, they have the thing with their kids. And so do you have that thing when you're performing those festivals where you are tapering what you're doing, changing it?
No. I mean, first of all, we don't talk on stage, pretty much. So it's nothing like, there's nothing bad going on anyways. Nothing to complain. Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes people complain.
I needed a while to understand not to kick kids in their ass anymore because I did something wrong next to you. But people loved it, and the kid loved it too.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that.
But a lot of time it's a third party who's annoyed. It's somebody who's annoyed for somebody else.
Yeah, but the festival we do with the handicapped people, it's never the parents who are there. It's always like also the handicaps are not pretty young. I mean, they're almost all of them are pretty much older than me, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's always only the caretaker,
Yeah, it's not children.
So it's nothing.
Not children handicapped.
No, but that was the same. I mean, these guys and girls weren't children either, but they just they were treated like it.
Yeah.
But that's a really great idea.
Yeah.
If
we do kids shows, it's a little. We watch out sometimes.
Yeah.
I heard a guy called Bruce does a show called Ganja where he plays the great Ganja from Hashistan. It's just puns about being stoned. He told me about doing kids shows. He used to do kids shows, and he said the thing with kids shows is that the kids want to feel like they know better than you, that they've got one up on you. So he'd get like a whoopee cushion. He'd say, "My friends have given me this balloon," and you can tell where it goes from there. But it was all the idea that you give the kids the sensation that they're in control, that they have the power.
Yeah, maybe. But sometimes it's also good to make a joke where the kids don't understand, but the parents will. Kind of a thing like a double-sided joke or something like this.
Yeah, double entendre, I believe, is it's one of the kinds of ones. I think a lot of street theatre has that thing. You do jokes. When I talk about sucking my own cock, I don't say it like that, but it's the inference. Yeah. You infer it if you have that contextual information in your head,
That's right. That's right. Then you know what's going on.
Exactly. So what do you guys think is going to happen after this? How do you think do you think people are going to blossom back outside again, or?
I think so. I hope so, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to, I don't want to miss it. I want to be back outside. I want to go back outside. I want to see things. So
it might take some time,
It's going to take its time, but I'm sure people want to.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. And
I'm sure that people who are also everybody is stuck at home. So once this shit is over, I think the next summer is going to be great.
Are you doing any internet festivals? Any kind of performance in these little screens, bar the performance we're doing now?
No. That's our first thing.
Thinking about?
Well, people who listen now don't know that we had a tech rehearsal today, 2 hours before the thing happened.
I'm glad we did.
I'm glad we did.
It's like a blinker of a car, off and on.
Yeah.
As soon as somebody closes the door,
Corona.
As soon as somebody closes the door, we don't have internet anymore. So we can try.
Yeah,
it'll work great. If you are interested, there's lots of projects out there, and there's lots of people out there organizing group shows right now. And I'm sure if anyone's watching and wants to contact you, they've got the Facebook links to the message. I'm sure they can get to you and give you a message if they wanted to do it. If we're going to be here for a couple of years, maybe we've got to learn how to do things on little screens.
Then we definitely got to learn how to do things on little screens.
I tell you, that's the future, man.
I don't want
everything gonna change, man. Every fucking thing gonna change. I tell you.
I don't want to.
So I'm feeling. No, I get it. So I'm feeling like we're reaching a natural end to the interview. Is there anything you want to say? Any extra stuff you want to add on?
Thanks, man.
We love you. Hey, did I tell you that? Did I tell you that I love you?
Yeah. No, I think that's a great thing. I think it's a wonderful thing what you do anyway.
Hey, really, bravo. And it's the only applause today, man. What a great idea, man.
It's nice that there's people out there trying to connect people.
Well, it's keeping me sane.
We would
get to talk to friends
sit at the same time in our workshop and getting stoned and drunk and stuff. And it's better than now. We feel much better. We feel like not stoned and drunk.
I'm stoned and drunk, just connecting across Europe.
Yes,
let's do
I
it again.
think it's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
great. Yeah, should
Hacki.
I tell you a last joke?
Yeah, please. If you'd like to
Okay,
show a trick or a joke, please carry on. The stage is yours.
Okay, there's two Jewish guys. They on the Titanic, and the Titanic is drowning. It's going down, And so the one is looking to the other, and he sees he's got tears, and he's crying, And he's turning around to him and say, "You don't have to cry. It's not your boat." I mean, I'm not sure if you get it. I mean, that's the latest one I got, so why not?
It's a good one.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
Yeah, it's hard with audience. It's hard to tell jokes without an audience.
Yeah,
that's why I think it's hard to do things for a screen,
Yeah.
Especially for us, because
well,
we don't.
Let me give you some advice. I watched I've watched a number of festivals that are being done, performances that are being done on the camera. Remember, you're on a camera. Remember, you're not doing a show on a stage or in a street. You're doing a show on a camera, and it needs to work on that medium. There's a festival that happened very recently, World Buskers Festival, World Buskers Unite online festival.
We got invited to that too.
We're going to be there, but probably forget to ask for money in the end. But if we're going to have fun, we'll be there. If you need us, man, let us know.
Sure.
Definitely. Well, the thing that they did was they did a lot of this thing of clapping. They were telling everybody to clap, My advice, don't tell people on the other side of a screen to clap, because they won't.
No, why would they?
They're just going to stare at you. Yeah. The challenge for us as a community now is to make something on this screen that's as compelling and beautiful as what we made on the stage. And that's our challenge in our mind thing, I think, right now, while we're in this lockdown.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, that's the same thing the people in the 20s had when the TV came out, I guess.
Yes, exactly that. So, Hacki, Moeppi, thank you. Please stay on the line. I will chat with you after over. Everyone else, goodbye.
Matt,
Goodbye.
See you soon. Take care, man.